Charles, you don't go to war with only one plan. So very early in our discussions, the leaders of the coalition took the decision that we'll not only look for existing platforms and identify one that is suitable for all of us to go under one roof, but we'll also explore the possibility of registering a brand new party. Many of the leaders believe that registering a brand new party is the least risky of the propositions. Because
do you believe that?
I think so. I think a brand new party doesn't have any legacy problems or any viruses injected, because what the government, the ruling party and the government have been doing is to create problems in the opposition parties by recruiting and financing viruses to multiply. This is what is happening in the Labour Party, the PDP, and even the NNPP. So many of the leaders expressed concern that perhaps the best way to avoid this, you are dealing with a mischievous government and party that is totally immoral. They will do anything to eliminate all opposition, is to register a brand new party. And the Constitution and the Electoral Acts are very, very clear about the qualifications for registering a new party. Many of us do not believe that under the current leadership of INEC, a new party will be registered, because Dr. Mahmoud Yakubu is not Jega, and President Tinubu is not Jonathan. Okay, those were the people in charge when the APC was registered, and many were pessimistic about the prospects of registering a new party. But we said, let's try it anyway. Let's show.
Right.
Let's show that, INEC is not independent. Right. Let's show that this government is interfering to ensure there is no opposition.
But
so we're pursuing both paths. Right. And if both become available, then the leadership will then sit down and consult and take their views to the plenary, and a decision will be taken.
Right, but some would argue that that's not an entirely fair assessment to INEC, because INEC, from what I understand, has many new applications for parties.
They have over 100 applications.
That are ahead of the ADA.
Yeah.
So it might take a very long time for INEC to get to the ADA, and it might look a bit partial if the Commission skipped the other ones in favor of registering the ADA right away.
Look, it is not a queuing system. The way these things should work is that any party that is registered will get assigned a set of officers. The requirements in the Constitution that have been repeatedly upheld in the Supreme Court are very simple. They are very easy to meet. So, you don't need the entire INEC to queue 100 applications and say, oh, we'll finish A before we come to Z. You assign teams, and look, we've project managed things like that. You can do this in no time if you want to do it. Of course, they will give those excuses, but we don't believe it. We don't believe that. And when the timelines in the Electoral Act and the Constitution are very clear, there are a number of days that INEC must respond and say, this is the defect in your application. Otherwise, the Constitution says, you are deemed to have been registered. So INEC is treading on a very narrow path here. It has an opportunity to show its independence, and it should prove its skeptics wrong. But there are opposing views, but the coalition decided that will be pursued, and that's why you saw the application.
Right.
And in
it's a collective decision.
It was a collective decision.
Right, because what we are hearing is, to the public, it looks like there are sort of divisions within this opposition coalition about what the best way forward is, that these are not, because you're not talking about parties coming together like we saw.
It's not a merger.
You're talking about
we're looking for one platform to all go into. Right. No. A decision was taken, to set up committees to engage with existing platforms, as well as another committee to get all the efforts. Already in the coalition, there are about 3 groups that have made attempts to register their own party. So we said, look, come together, harmonize, and come up with one name, one party, one logo, one constitution, and they came at the last meeting. We were briefed on the name and the symbol and so on, and that team was given the go-ahead to proceed with the registration. Some leaders in the coalition prefer a new party, as I said, while some feel that, you know, we should just go into an existing party and start organizing, because the main battle begins when we have a platform.
Sure.
This is all preliminaries.
That implies that your presence in the SDP is very temporary. I mean, that you're going to leave the SDP, assuming the ADA gets registered.
When I joined the SDP, I made it clear in my statement that even though I'm in the SDP, just like every other, I mean, Atiku Abubakar is still in the PDP. Peter Obi has not officially left the Labour Party. But we all agreed that if we have consensus on a platform, we are going to give up our own legacy parties and focus on that platform. We are still not there yet. The leadership will receive a report on the engagement with the SDP as well as the other party, and then a decision will be taken. I strongly believe that the SDP is the best platform for the coalition. It has a history, it has a legacy, it has a sentimental value, and everything about it is almost perfect. The name, the logo, everything. It has a history, and I'm advocating for that amongst my colleagues. But it will be a collective decision.
Right. And if that collective decision is made, you will be happy to leave the SDP and join the ADA.
I will do whatever I can to ensure that we unite under one platform.
Right. So whatever happens, just to be clear, whatever happens with your considerable political firepower, and let's be honest, you have quite a bit of it, the impetus for you will lie with whatever party the collective consensus decides is going to be the vehicle.
Yes, I believe in that very strongly. I believe that the unity, look, Nigerians are tired of the APC. We know that, we have polled that. There is 91% disapproval of this administration across the country. 91% disapproval. It's the worst in Nigeria's history. But Nigerians are looking for a credible option.
Yeah, but
they want to see people coming together, putting aside their differences and ambitions, and giving them an alternative to this failure of a government.